friends. We're back. Thank you for your patience. I hope that the sound is better now. I'm pretty sure that it should be coming through both of your ear holes and not just one ear hole. For all of you Twitch viewers, that is. All of you podcast listeners, well, you got David and Tiffany's magic worked on it.
You won't hear this part. It's probably
she's gonna cut it. It doesn't matter. Yes,
you
yes.
tried that.
I tried. I know they're gonna edit it out. They're always editing me. No, I'm just kidding. They really don't. They let me do what I want to. We are back with this little game called Good Strong Hands. I hope you had a chance on the break to watch the trailer again and get hyped for the Kickstarter that drops tomorrow. This game is written by Nerdburger Craig, a good friend, Atlanta local, and an incredible game designer who, in fact, has designed one of my favorite games, tabletop games ever, called Die Laughing. So check it out. Check his stuff out. And actually, I'll give you guys... if I spell it right... That
link of some
works.
kind.
Yeah, a link. That's what I'm trying to do. There you go. There's a link in chat for you to check that out. We had 2 void bards filled at the top. So what I'm going to do is tell you where and how those have become activated as we do a very quick little recap. These creatures are coming together for a annual celebration. Fall. The leaves falling off the trees. Basically, a celebration of the trees getting naked to go into hibernation. It's a beautiful celebration here in the land of reverie. Creatures come from all over these parts to celebrate once a year together as all the leaves fall off. And then when the final leaf, the last one, drops from the tree, it is taken by a single folk all the way up a mountain, really a volcano, and dropped into it as an offering. But on the 100th year mark, that last leaf, when taken up to the top of the mountain, it brings back a phoenix who flies down the mountain and rejuvenates this part of the land for another century. Unfortunately, something beat the folk of reverie to this forest. It laid a dark hand of the void upon a tree, marking it, stealing the final leaf early, and marching deep into this forest, now dead. Unfinished of its routine of shedding its leaves, now it is just gray. They have marched deep into the forest, taking from this land what it rightfully owns. If this celebration does not happen, the void now has a base, a ground zero, for starting its corruption across this land. But 4 simple folk, Hazelbloom, Thimbleberry, Pom Pom, and Thumper, seemed drawn, called, you might say, to this cause. All they have to do is get the leaf back and do what they had planned. Take it up the mountain and deliver it so that the phoenix can bring this forest back to life. But their travels through the forest have led them into something that should not be here. It should be a beautiful pond. Instead, it is a bog, hidden underneath what they thought was solid ground. And last we saw them, skeletal hands had popped out of the ground, reaching for them, thanks to the filling of the void bar. And we'll pick up in this moment. We have Thimbleberry side-saddled on the shoulders of Thumper. Pom Pom, I'm guessing, is flying in the air. You don't want to be anywhere near these things, right?
No.
Yeah,
Pom Pom is now like probably over Hazelbloom, like you never saw a pixie. You never saw her move so fast before.
This pixie darts to hide between Hazelbloom's massive tree-like body, and these skeletal hands pop out of the ground and they begin reaching for the ankles of Thumper and Hazelbloom, who are keeping their much smaller and meeker party members, giving them some safety, basically. And it is all your turn to tell me what you would like to do, because in Good Strong Hands, I don't get to really roll. I create repercussions or yeah, we'll say based on your actions. So let's see what all of you want to do in this moment.
Um, uh, Pom Pom is very scared, but she also wants to make sure that how well lit is this area?
I would say right now it is midday. Like I would say evening. The sun is still up, but it will be dark soon.
Okay. Then yeah. She wants to be small,
Okay.
but she wants to be fast, but she still wants to help her friends be able to see what's
Okay.
going on.
Yeah.
So she transforms into a firefly. It is magic light.
Okay.
You transform into a firefly. You fly very fast. You can fit in tiny spaces, and you illuminate an area the size of a small house. Like I am bright.
Okay.
So they can see me, but I'm literally like this tiny little fly. So I just whoop, and just
trying to make light in the area.
Yeah.
So that they can see better.
Yes.
I would say, well, now here's the real question. Are you doing this only to make light, which is gonna simply be, like I said, a repercussion of what happens when you light yourself up? Like there's gonna be natural light. Or are you doing this to distract the skeletons?
I think she is definitely swallowing her fear of getting her wings plucked, because that is something she is very afraid of. She's not gonna get in. She's not gonna get in the skeletons. Like that's not. She's not gonna do that. But she is trying to illuminate the area so the skeletons are either distracted by the light, or her friends are given advantage to the well lit spot that she is making.
I am going to give you a disadvantage on this because you are having to face one of your fears.
Yeah. She is trying to face her fears for her friends, though.
So
they deserve it.
It's true, and it's a good one. So you're using your mind, actually, based on the rules, to activate this light source.
Okay.
So you're going to use your mind, but you are, with this disadvantage, going to need to take a die out of your pool, I believe.
Yeah.
And I would say, in terms of actually, if lighting the way is all you're really trying to do, this is just a moderate task. You only need 1 success out of 4.
Okay. I only have 2 mind, so that is only 1 dice.
Okay, this is gonna get interesting. Let's see. Okay.
It's a 3.
Oh no.
No.
You. Oh yeah.
You do mark a skill checkbox.
You do
Yeah.
mark a skill
Failure.
checkbox on a failure.
So you get
yeah.
something.
It did something. Wasn't what I wanted to do, but
And
it did something.
You learned something valuable.
I did.
And what you learn, because that's the way it works, right? When you fail, failure is learning something. So in this game, when you fail, you get to mark this box, this skill box, and when you get a certain amount of them, you can activate some things. But in this case, what you learn, you try to turn on. We hear almost like that flicker of a fluorescent, that as it tries. This place, though not dark by the eyes, is full of void energy. It is everywhere, and it is so much stronger than Pom Pom. More importantly, when we face our fears, we do it for a reason. Those fears don't come out of nothing. And as you try to light up, you draw attention to yourself. And one of the skeletons off in the distance that has pulled itself free sees you. It's been a long time since he's plucked a fairy's wings. And he begins running for you on his turn. Or, well, I say on his turn. He begins running towards you. That's the repercussion, I say. And you begin breathing. This is getting bad. This is gonna be bad. Who else wants to do something? By the way, initiative is driven by all of you. It changes every round, so you get to choose who goes next.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Okay.
To at least get these skeleton hands off me, at the very least.
Yeah.
I have a ability called Water Shape,
Okay.
which is cause water no larger than a small pond to move until the end of the scene. It can climb, freeze, or thaw, or form into shapes.
Oh, okay.
how much water is left in this, like, in the bog around?
There's a lot of water. It's almost like the bottom of the river rose. So it's now mud
Okay.
and muck. It's not as clean. Does that make sense? Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of mixed all up in there. So yeah.
Um. Ooh, okay, so if I can see any skeletons like coming out of the bog, I want to like freeze the water around them so they can't. They get stuck midway.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if possible, I want to do it to the one that's running at Pom Pom.
Okay. All right. Let's get. Does it tell you? It would. That is a water. Let's make sure. No, wrong one. Not your fears. Is your minor magic? What kind of magic is that? Is that earth magic? No.
Water magic.
Water magic. Oh, it's at the bottom. Yes, restore
Yeah.
dirty magic. Right. Okay. I'm gonna say this is charm, probably.
Ooh, that's my worst one.
That's your worst one. I would say you're either charming the water, but you could be. No, we can make this hard because this is a magical ability. We'll make this hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, this though this is a lot of space that you're trying to freeze over. We'll say that your focus is on this one, so that's where you're going to kind of centralize it. But depending on how well you do, it may expand how much gets frozen over. So I'll say this is a difficult task. You're going to need a 5.
Okay. 2 5s.
What? Okay, that is a boon. That is
I mean,
a
it's not
boon.
good because that's another shadow for me. But okay.
That is y'all. I am so I just have to say, it's a very cool mechanism. This like boon thing. So you got your success, but you got 2 of them. Again, you are an ancient creature, Hazel Bloom. You're rather old. The void sees you once again. Something out there is coming for you. You're going to need to mark a shadow for that extra one if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And you watch as this area begins to freeze over. It starts with the one skelly that is running towards Pom Pom. Pom Pom, you see it begin to kind of reach for you, and all of a sudden it stops. And we all know they're not smart creatures or undead creatures. But it looks at its feet and stops for a second. And then it realizes that the bog that's up to like its knees or its hips is like freezing over. And it tries to kind of move faster. It doesn't work. Everything around it freezes over and is now this kind of area is like an ice skating rink with like dirt and mud and gunk on top of it. It's pretty disgusting, actually. As we continue, I want to give you all some things because the internet has given you all some things.
Yay!
Yeah, the internet has given you all some things. Could you imagine?
Yes, from the
So we have had 2 people tag me on Twitter. I haven't had a chance to check Discord, so we'll start here. Let's see. Abalek has given an advantage to Pom Pom. Thank you for registering to vote. And we have gotten another one from Justin McGregor, who is also giving an advantage to Pom Pom. So Pom Pom,
Justin.
what that means is you can bank them and you can use them to add a single die, I'll say only one, to a pool of your choosing when you roll. For the sake of this. And like I said, I haven't checked Discord yet, which I'm sure is also blowing up. So we may have some more that come through before it's over with.
Justin and Abe, I want to say, rude. I tease. I love you both.
And chat, if I miss somebody, please ping me in chat and I will definitely get to it before our night is done. And we see this. It's now ice in this one area. Quite a few skellies have been kind of captured in this. They begin plucking their own arms from their body and using it as an ice pick to try to chip themselves out. Now, they are busy doing this. Some of them begin smashing their skulls against it. Not smart creatures. But they are distracted. They cannot attack you. What about Thimbleberry and Thumper? Who would like to go next?
Okay, so Thimbleberry sees the water icing over, and she gets struck with Dancer's inspiration, and she goes, She taps Thumper and says, "Can you put me down, please?" And as soon as her hooves hit the ground, she starts dancing her way, kind of like an ice skater, to that skeleton. She wants to kick him in the head.
Yes. Yes. I
Okay.
love it.
We watch as Thumper gingerly puts. I imagine Thimbleberry's already getting her dancing legs in place. Like, you know, it's like anytime you put a cat near water, its legs begin moving first before it ever touches it. It's like that. As Thimbleberry gears up for this dance, as Thumper gingerly places her on this very icy surface.
I want to help her
Oh, yes.
by spending a spirit and giving her pixie wings. But they're like her sized.
Yeah, so they're kind of keeping her balanced.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you spend a spirit. Thimbleberry, that means you get an extra die on this roll for the help of you growing fawn wings?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I imagine they look like monarch butterfly wings. A little less pixely, a little bit more like woodlandy, but they're still very beautiful.
You get
And
wings.
for
They're
your
whatever
side.
you want them to be.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, they're whatever you want them to be.
I feel that.
But yes,
Okay.
let's
So-
do it.
I'm assuming body.
This is definitely
Okay.
that sweet
Okay.
fawn body action.
Fawn body. That's all I want to hear.
Okay. You needed this
Three,
was
a 4, and a 6.
this was a difficult task, and you got a 6, which succeeds. The darkness or the void does not really see you. We'll say as you do this, it is still far too focused on this on Hazel Bloom, but you do the thing. How many were you trying to get rid of?
So I was specifically aiming at the skeletons that are now like in the ice.
Mhm.
So if there's more than one, I would like to kick
As
more
many
heads.
as possible.
Well,
We'll say
I
since
was tracking
with
one.
with the help of your wings, usually you would only be able to do one fawn spin roundhouse kick on a turn on this ice. But thanks to Pom Pom and Pom Pom's extra wings, you can keep your momentum going. And we watch as Thimbleberry spins in this very delicate way, like an ice dancer.
I was imagining her
hooves.
like grand jeting off of
Yeah.
one skeleton to another.
Exactly. Ping, we get a back hoof to this skull. Ping, a couple ribs broken there. Some arms broken there, and you pinball your way basically down these frozen skellies. There's about 4 of them. Their limbs and heads go rolling, or some of them might even get kind of shattered or smashed. And it causes quite a mess with them as they can't no longer dig themselves out with their body parts. Or find their own body parts.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's
I think-
sensational.
I think
I
as
do
soon
have a
as she
question.
kicks the last one, she kind of like turns and like lands a pose.
Yeah, bing. Hazel Bloom has a question.
Yeah. So I read a little bit about the rules, and apparently, if you kill something,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gain shadow. Does that
Yes.
does killing these undead count as killing?
No, because this is not an innocent creature. This is
Okay, so
this
it's
is
an
already a
innocent- okay.
corrupted creature. That
Okay.
being said, it's really hard to kill an undead. All you've really done is kind of dismembered them. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point.
Scattered them.
But that's a really good point. That's a great point about this game. Adding death and bringing death to the land inevitably corrupts you, making it easier for the void to grab you next. But these are definitely out to get you, which makes them not quite good creatures. Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thimbleberry wasn't necessarily trying to kill, but more to like keep them from getting to us.
It's
She's
true.
very much in the like evade and leave mentality.
Yeah. As Trish in chat said, you're just taking out the trash. That's really all that's happening
Yeah.
here. You're just
Yeah.
taking out the trash.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, the wings do only last until the end of the scene.
Okay.
So I imagine when you do your thing, the wings in glitter just
It's like it's your you stick the
I-
landing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the end, like fireworks at a big concert, just, and just glitter rains down.
But
That
Thumper,
was
But it gets stuck to
beautiful.
my muddy foot.
what does Thumper do this round?
How many are still there?
I'd say
visible
you-
or
yeah, I'd-
trapped in ice.
There are about 5 of them trapped in ice, or now those 5 are scattered about an icy top. I'd say that you can see maybe 2 more at your feet that weren't with like Hazel Bloom in that area that still very much are crawling their way out of this bog.
Okay. Thumper is gonna go ahead and just like, I mean, again, he's several hundred pounds. The ground is now frozen. I think he's just gonna gingerly, like, step on one and then just let his foot sink down and then, like, reach out with the other foot and just, like...
So sorry.
Yeah, and you can hear, like, as the foot goes down, you know, it bubbles, this muddy bog bubbles around this heavy foot, and it just, like... Let's get a body from you. This is definitely that sweet, sweet Thumper body now.
Sweet Thumper body.
Since all you're doing is trying to push them down into the ground with your massive feet, and gravity's working with you, I would say this is just a moderate task. It's going to be the holding them there that could become more difficult, but for now, getting them under is pretty easy. So you only need a 4 for this body roll. Body roll. Hey!
Just at the same time.
Anything that rocks are very good at, it's rolling.
Body roll. So you manage it. We got a 4, 3, and a 5. The 4 does it, and the 5 is extra. That means that you get a boon. The darkness again notices you, the void. Like eyes maybe are watching you. It sees you, and it reaches out, and Thumper, these skellies, they stop fighting you. You can feel them as they get to the bottom, they're fighting, and they stop. And Thumper, maybe it's your subconscious or that little voice on your shoulder, but it reminds you that all creatures deserve a chance to live. And you feel a high level of guilt for drowning these creatures, something you yourself fear. The void wants you to release them.
I take my foot off.
Bloop, bloop. You kind of see some bubbles come up. The skellies don't.
I think there's like a pebble or two that just kind of rolls down.
A pebble?
Click, 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 click,
Oh my god. A single pebble rolls down his rock cheek. Your hive mind that lives inside you tries to maybe comfort you a little bit, but it's not enough. Did you really kill something that was already dead? You don't know, but it doesn't matter because you still feel it. And the round begins again, but this time everything seems to be subdued. The skellies that are frozen in ice are now frozen in ice, and all 4 of you have a chance to maybe catch your breath a little bit. Thumper, make sure that you mark that darkness. Or shadow, I'm sorry. I keep calling it darkness.
Too much void, Dot.
It's
Too much
y'all,
actual void.
Too much.
Like
void is
Coriolis
taking
now?
over.
Oh my god, so many things. Yeah, so the shadow track. Make sure that you mark your shadow track. Because the void
I was
has
gonna
noticed
say,
you.
is there a guilt condition?
There
Is
is.
it-
There is a guilty condition.
I believe.
I would think that
Yeah.
maybe
Is that-
this is a great time to do that because you used your
Oh,
greatest fear. If you
I think
wanted
it's
to.
afraid, yeah. It's
It's
afraid,
afraid.
rattled,
Rattled,
and terrified.
terrified,
And unconscious. Yeah.
Exhausted, injured, broken down.
Yeah,
Yeah. You could probably justify it under like afraid.
yeah
She might
maybe
be
a little
feeling afraid you did something or
Rattled even.
Okay.
yeah.
Rattled.
Rattled also
Hey,
could
rattled
be.
might actually be pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do rattle.
We'll do rattled.
Yes, chat. Don't tell me your fears in a game. Because I
You
will
would-
use them.
You'd think we'd learn. No. We never learn.
And for the record, for this game, it actually encourages you to get the fears of all of your players and play into them, because that's what the Void eats for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. So I think Thimbleberry, once she kind of dusts a little glitter off, not a lot, just a little, and sees that the skeletons are kind of subdued, is going to prance her way back over to the tracks to see, like, if, like, because the ants got all confused there, like, if there was a set that went in a different direction.
Yeah, to see if you can kind of retrace or put yourself on the right path. And you begin to look around and try to find this path. And as you backtrack, I guess you could say, it's not very far, but it is a little ways back from where you started. You hear something. It's the sound of something in peril. And it's the sound of a small creature just off, like, where you're currently standing. It's crying.
Oh no! Oh no! That's all you hear Thimbleberry say, and then she just, like, starts prancing off in a direction.
Pom Pom
It was that
joins
telling
you.
us. Okay.
Yeah, Pom Pom flitters with you, just like, we need to go see what's wrong.
You
There's crying.
you pull back a dried out bush, and there on the ground, sitting in a small, very tiny little puddle of mud, is a pixie who's crying without their wings.
Hello, friend. Can we help you?
This pixie looks up at all of you, whoever went over, and kind of backs up a little bit as if they might be scared. And this pixie pipes up and says, "There's nothing we can do."
Thimbleberry kind of puts her hands up so that the pixie can see, like, she's not gonna hurt her. She's, well, I'm sure we can think of a way to help or to fix what's gone wrong. Can you tell us about it? What happened?
The pixie simply turns around using their feet and shows you that their wings have been plucked from their back. And this pixie simply goes, "Not unless you got any glue on you." And it holds up two wings. They're two wings that they managed by themselves to get back from the skellies. And it just keeps crying.
I don't have any glue, but, like, I have some bog mud. Would that help? Patch it up?
Pom-Pom, you see all of this, and you are in fact a pixie. How do pixies fix plucked wings?
There is one way to fix broken wings, or to fix ripped off wings. Broken wings can be mended. You rest and you enjoy some flower petals and you sing songs. But when they're actually taken off of you, there's only one thing you can do. So Pom Pom goes next to the pixie and she says, I'll put your wings back on.
Oh, and Pom-Pom, as long as you allow it, this other pixie throws their arms around you and gives you a hug. The rest of the pixies left me.
It's very scary here, I know. There's no flowers or color or clapping or anything. It's very
I
disheartening
saw
here.
it. I saw it.
What did you see?
It's two wings. It's kind of been hiding behind them. It pulls them open and goes, I saw it. The wraith. Ow!
Yeah. It's really bad. If you can point us in the direction that it went, that would be very helpful.
My wings first.
Yeah. I'll put your wings back on.
You watch as
And-
this pixie goes, thank you. My name is Bumble.
Hi, Bumble. I'm Pom Pom.
And Bumble very gingerly passes over what most pixies consider to be the most valuable thing they'll ever own to you to fix.
So she turns to Bumble and she says, you know what I have to do. But you have to ask for it in the correct way.
Oh,
You
right,
have to say, I wish for my wings to be back.
right. Wings wish back. No. Back wish the wings. No. What is it?
I wish for my wings to be back.
Oh, yeah, I wish for my wings to be back.
So this is actually one of her corruption things. Take 2 permanent shadow. Grant yourself or someone else 1 wish, which could benefit only the wisher. The wish can't change a character's playbook.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
We watch Pom Pom face their greatest fear that somebody else is currently living. And by giving up permanent shadow, that cannot go away. Pom Pom gives up a wish so that Bumble can have their wings back. And like magic, the wings, almost magnetized exactly where they belong, find their home, and Bumble immediately takes flight. And now we know why they're called Bumble, because their wings sound a little bit like a bumblebee when they rap and flatter.
Oh no, my makeup.
Oh no, don't cry! You watch Pom Pom as this little pixie takes flight. They never thought they'd get to do that again. And they swoop down and give you one more hug. Maybe
She
it's in the
hugs her
air
back.
because they're pixies and that's adorable and I love
Yeah,
it.
we hug in the air. It's very sweet and glitter and everything. And Pom Pom definitely like gives her just like a really really tight hug. Like
This tight little pixie hug, and their light together glows and it fills this empty, dark space with warm light. And Bumble says, I won't forget this, I promise. And if you want to know which way they went, that way. And you hear him like off as he like points.
thanks, Bumble.
Thank you. As he like spins and kind of runs off. And Pom Pom, for somebody that doesn't like other pixies, and for somebody who usually is a little bit of a lone, I don't want to say wolf, a lone pixie, you just helped one of your kind. But the darkness notices you. That kind of heart and fire. That is exactly what the void seeks. And the sun begins to set upon this forest, casting shadow from the trees all over everything. You have a new direction.
Thimbleberry is still standing there and she's just kind of like clapping and like doing a little dance. She's so excited the pixie's better.
I actually have on here one of my anchors is clapping, so Pom Pom really appreciates that.
Oh, and
Aw.
maybe that anchors you a little
Yeah.
bit
You feel
in this
better?
moment. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. I can't handle it. God. Little stories full of big heart, y'all. We're killing it.
Yeah.
And all four of you begin to march again. It is getting darker, but Pom Pom gives off some kind of natural glow, and with them, Thimbleberry's like hoof clap, which sounds like two coconuts, no doubt. There's like it's enough to ground Pom Pom for her to be able, her light to exude a little bit and feel like she did something, something for somebody else. And you trek, and the night gets darker. You are only given a direction. But you come across a clearing. A clearing even in this forest. A massive tree stands there. It is huge. It is, of course, the same matching color. I would say that Hazel Bloom, you would know of other landmarks in this forest. There has always been said in the center of the forest to be a massive tree with a canopy that shields the center area of this forest. It's known as the Embrace, the first tree planted here that all the other trees were drawn to. It's said, by legend and lore, to embrace and warm those who rest or sleep inside of it or in its shade. You can see that it is probably the last tree that still has any ounce of color left on it. Pale and dim. But it is a welcoming sight in this dead place. Even as it is dying, it still offers the embrace of warmth and shelter if the four of you want to take it.
We should rest.
We should, and I'll help this tree make sure that you all get enough sleep. Look, I'm using all my stuff today. We're gonna get through all of Pom Pom's things.
Do it.
She's meant to support. She's actually going to around it. I mean, including the big tree, including all of her friends. She makes little flowers, irises and lavenders, and makes a circle of the flowers. I spend one spirit. You create a circle of flowers. Everyone who sleeps at least 4 hours within the circle removes one condition and gains one skill.
Ooh.
Okay, so we'll say that's kind of what happens. This is early evening, and 4 hours really is not that much time. But this beautiful bed of flowers pop up, this arrangement, I guess you could say, to cuddle all of you. What another wonderful gift to give this tree in its clearly dying day. And you all rest for roughly 4 hours of time. The moon shifts positions, and when you all wake, whoever it is first, you see that it's roughly what we would consider midnight. The moon is high in the sky. The crickets and the bugs of this place have begun their nightly song. But, actually, who is it that wakes first? Who would be first up? I gotta know.
Ooh,
Thumper can wait.
Yeah, I feel like Thimbleberry will pop up once she gets poked.
But
And
Thumper,
she's very lucky.
you think Thumper would be first up, probably, Gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thumper, you're first up. And that might be your usual routine, but this is not a normal waking. Your ants, literally the ants in your pants, the ants in your body, they wake up too. They are warning you of something. You can feel their little limbs, their little ant thingies tapping on the inside of your body like, wake
Tap.
up.
Tapping on
Wake
the glass,
up.
waiting for... Okay, sorry.
And these little ants are like, get up, get up. You can hear the hive in your body rattling and vibrating, and maybe as Thumper, you sit up. This massive rocket grinds up. You see it on a tree in the darkness, a slimy black goo. It's following you, Thumper.
I reach out and touch Hazel Bloom. And shake that
Like an Animal Crossing character.
You're just like shaking like a bag of bells fall out of his hair.
I think pom-pom falls out of your hair. That's probably where she was.
Oh my gosh.
I think I don't know if you noticed, but everything Hazel does is very slow. So like he wakes up, but even his eyelids like open slowly.
It's like,
He's like,
Yes? Is it morning already? But there is something over there.
and when he sees it, he just not immediately, because again he's very slow, but he, as fast as he can, stands up and kind of steps forward to put himself at least in between the ooze and the rest of the group.
I get the creaking of an old tree getting up from a nap. It's like Grandpa rising from his, his rocking chair on the front porch, and it's this like, you can hear grinding and the old parts like getting up, and you step forward. The goo does not move. It stays stationary kind of on this tree. But you feel it again, watching you, Hazel Bloom. It doesn't take action. Would you like to do anything?
He just...
You seen something like this before?
Yes. Back when Agatha showed us the footprints, I noticed a handprint burnt into a tree nearby. And that ooze, it came out of the handprint. It seems to be following us.
Would we wake the others?
I think that would be wise.
Okay. And,
Do you bring your hands down to the ground? I love this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a big fist.
I mean, this is probably how you wake other Rocky friends. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the vibration of the earth.
Of the earth.
Most stonekin
These are very
sleep
good
like a
vibrations.
rock. So like, you kind of have to make a lot of noise to wake them up.
And this rocky fist meets other earth. And the vibrations do, in fact, rattle out. Thimbleberry, Pom-Pom. Pom-Pom, it probably feels like a massive earthquake to you. Yeah. But Thimbleberry, it wakes you very quickly. Oh, you're
Can't
muted.
hear you.
Yeah, we can't seem to hear you.
Don't know what that's about. No? No.
No.
Very strange. Tap the mic.
Really odd.
I know it did that earlier. It was like a...
Yeah, I remember it did that last time I played with you as well,
No.
actually.
Oh no.
Oh, no, you're back. Nope, you're gone again.
Nope.
You were here and then you weren't.
Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, she's with us.
Still can't hear you.
So strange. Yeah, it feels it's almost like there's like maybe a short in the cable because it keeps coming and going, which is really
Yeah.
weird.
It could be a cable thing.
That's what makes me think. Ooh.
Oh.
Would we like to take a short break?
We might have to. Let's Give Tiff a sec. She's gonna keep working on it. How about this? Thimbleberry pops up, I imagine, to all fours, tail straight up in the air. Boop! Scares her awake. And the four of you can all now see this same gooey presence.
It's the goo I saw at the beginning of our journey. It's following us, watching us. Let me see if I can stop it.
And he's gonna. Oh wait, yeah, I think he's gonna try getting Moss to grow over it again to
Okay.
try. Yeah, that's all he can really do. He's a little too scared to get right up close to it. So
Okay. You kind of bridge the gap, maybe get a little closer.
yeah.
Now you realize it's bigger than when it first arrived out of that tree. It's maybe growing in size.
Can I want to look up at the tree. Is there any leaves missing from it?
This tree? No.
Yeah.
It
okay.
seems that maybe whatever manifest in that initial tree that you either woke up or when the void saw you, it sent a little agent out to follow you.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, maybe thanks to chat and a void bar.
I mean, I what I can do is try again. Actually, he's gonna turn around to everyone.
I'll be right back.
And I'm gonna use wood step, and he's gonna run straight at the tree with the ooze in it, and try and pull the ooze with him into the tree and appear in a further down tree, like further deep into the.
Oh, you're gonna like teleport through the trees and try to take the goo with you. And,
Yeah.
and get it off your trail. Oh, I love this. This is very cool. Okay. I imagine running for you is a very slow start.
Yeah.
And then once you get your initial long legs going. So, you are going to try to grab this. It's not going to stop you from grabbing it. So that's not what the roll is. The
Yeah.
roll is going to be leaving it behind.
Yeah.
So tell us about this tree teleportation. Is there any specific roll you need to make, or is this something that you spend spirit to use?
I spend spirit to use it. I step into a tree and emerge from another within sight, or I can hide within the tree
Within the tree.
and
Okay,
emerge
so
whenever I want.
how far out do you want to appear? Like as far out as your eyesight can take you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say then to be able to grab it, teleport, and leave it behind. This is going to be a difficult task. So we need a 5 on the roll. And your pool is, I'm going to say this is a body.
Okay.
Because you're grabbing it and
yeah.
like throwing it, you know what I mean? So it's the trait itself. And you know what? It gives you, no, I guess the trait itself is the jump from tree to tree. So you're good. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I forgot. I have 2 of these.
Oh,
I'm going to give Hazel Bloom one of my advantages.
yes. So you can add another, just roll another d6 whenever
Okay.
Roll20 wants to get with the program and tell me what you roll.
I haven't actually rolled it yet. I'm just
perfect.
Well,
Then
trying
I'm
to
not as clueless
get
as I
into
think.
it. No. Okay, so yeah, my normal roll would be 3 because I have a 3 in body, but with the advantage it's 4.
Okay, so 4, and you only need 1 5, which...
Okay. That's 1 5 exactly. Thank goodness.
The fates are on your side. A 4 die, you could have rolled a lot of successes, but you only rolled exactly what you needed. Hazel Bloom, a rather brilliant idea. To move it farther back, it can't see us, and maybe it'll lose our trail. We watch Hazel Bloom step into one tree, ripping this goo with it, and step out much farther down. I'd say in the darkness, Hazel Bloom simply disappears. None of you even see him as he reappears in a different tree within his eyesight. you're gonna lob it? You just throw it? What do you do with it
Yeah,
when you
I
come
was-
out the other side?
I actually just throw it. So I guess this is another thing I can do. I can grow my limbs 20 feet long.
Oh
So I'm just gonna like I reach back, and as I reach
Like
back,
Michael
my hand
Jordan in
just-
Space Jam. Just
Exactly. Yeah. It just keeps going, keeps going. And then I use my leg to stretch that 20 feet long so I can get like a good leverage and just throw
Okay.
it as far as I can.
Your arm whoop, 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 and yeets this slime as far as it can throw it. This slime, like it's like tossing dough. I imagine that's like what its consistency is, or kind of like
Yeah.
flubber. It spins and tosses all the way off into the forest. You're able to step easily back through the tree you left and reappear for your friends in the exact same place. From what you can tell, Hazelbloom, the goo is gone.
As I step through each of the trees, like I say, like I just go,
I'm sorry for running through you without permission. It was an emergency.
and he just touches a tree, and then as he walks through them, and then the other one as well.
And you walk and you walk and you apologize to everyone along the way. And the final one that you step out of, and maybe you turn to apologize to it, you say, I'm sorry for not asking your permission first. And you hear a voice at your feet. Don't apologize to the trees.
I'm sorry?
You look down and there's a badger, a black and white badger. He's a bit gaudy. You can tell that he's used things like acorns and accessories, you could say, from the forest to gaudy himself up a bit. And he's kind of scrounging and scavenging amongst the deadness in this place. And he says, trees don't talk back.
They don't talk back to you.
Oh. He then looks up at the tree you just stepped out of, as if maybe he misjudged this situation. And he goes, I thought all the other folk were out of here. The skellies ran them off.
Yes, that's actually why we're here. They seem to have stolen the leaf that is meant to be dropped in the Ash Mountain.
Oh, yeah! I saw a leaf.
The leaf?
Like, you know, a leaf. And he points up to the leaves on these trees. But it wasn't gray like this. You know, I came here for a party. There was no party.
Hazelbloom just kind of looks around.
No, not here. Not here. There, you know, at the forest. I came for the party. That's why you're here. That's why we was all here.
Yes. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that party started soon.
Oh,
we just need to find that leaf.
So you're bringing the party?
Yes. I am actually quite the party animal.
Would you is Hazelbloom actually a party animal?
Actually not. He's
Totally he's lying.
He's just messing with him.
Okay.
He's
Messing with him. Oh, it's a joke. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like you can see, I don't know if the badger understands it, but his flowers and his beard turns an orange, which for most woodkin would mean like he's clearly joking.
He goes, your flowers are showing, kid. Or man, what's your name?
Hazelbloom.
Hazelbloom.
I am most likely 10 or 20 times older than you.
Right. Well, look, I'm the ripe old age of 12. So, and he kind of pats his belly. He's very clearly an older badger. They probably don't live like forever.
Yeah.
Like say a tree does. And he says, look, as long as you're bringing the party back, let me just tell you, there's a party you don't want to be involved in.
And what's that?
He kind of looks around. You know, a party with a wraith kid, or a tree, or hazel bloom.
Hazel bloom will do. What direction did this ash wraith go in?
It was the only place an ash wraith would be headed. And he looks up at the sky. And in the night sky, it's mostly dark, beautiful stars. But you can see now the top of the volcano through the canopy of trees. The smoke billows out, but there's an umbering, burning color behind it. He says, look, I don't know nothing about fallen leaves or wraiths. I just know when he came round, he and his party, I dug a hole. And then, well, you stepped on me.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
And he just steps back just to make sure he hasn't stepped on anyone else.
He
Like,
goes, don't worry about it, I'm a badger. I live underground. Everybody's always stepping on me. And he kind of like laughs.
Hazel Bloom laughs as well. He's like,
And he goes, let me get out of here. I'm trying to get out of here anyway. Do you know out? How do I get out?
I believe it's in that direction.
He kind of looks and he goes, okay. Party.
Be careful. There are oozes around.
Yeah, some dark stuff in this forest. He says, well, listen. I'm Burrows. One of the wildkin here. Kind of new to the area. So when all this is done, you come find me at the party. Huh?
I will.
I'll see what colors I can turn those flowers, huh? And he kind of like, ha ha ha, like jokes to himself, and he says, crazy kin, as he kind of walks off deeper, this badger, in like the direction you gave him, so that maybe he can find his way out. But he has, in fact, informed the group.
yeah. So I return to the rest of the group, just like probably brushing some like leaves off me as after jumping through trees.
I've temporarily dealt with that ooze that was following us. I met a badger. His name was Burrows. He said an ash wraith had the leaf. They were heading for the Ash Mountain.
That checks out. Good job, Hazel Bloom. You did good.
Thank you, Pom Pom.
As an oldie, as hundreds of years old, would I know like why they'll be heading to like? Because doesn't dropping the leaf in the volcano bring the phoenix? So why would they be going to the volcano?
That's a really great question. Okay. I'm actually going to make you roll for this one, because it's more of deduction. This is like, I know things about the forest, but why? If I put my pieces together. So this is going to be a mind roll, for sure. And I would say this is about a difficulty of 5, okay? Let's get... How many die are you rolling in that lovely mind pool?
3.
Okay, so you're a pretty wise little
Yeah.
old man. Okay, so 3, and you only need 1 5.
Ooh, 6.
Perfect. Okay, so 1. Make sure from your last roll where you got the 1, you mark a shadow because you got the 1.
Okay, yeah.
And then this 6. Okay. Your mind calls this over. Though your voice may be slow and your mannerisms to match, your mind, even in its old age, is peak. You begin calling over what this could mean. Why would an ash wraith take the leaf where we want it? And Hazel Bloom, you realize that The leaf itself is only an offering to get something much more important to come out.
Oh.
It seems that the Wraith is trying to trick the Phoenix. This cycle can never happen again if something happens to the Phoenix.
Okay. So I think when that clicks, again, everything about Hazel Bloom is slow motion, so his eyes just very slowly widen. To all Woodkin, that's like, whoa, that was very sudden. He's shocked, but to everyone else, this is like a very slow process.
I imagine that
And-
pom-poms floating above your head and just naturally giving off light, and when Hazel Bloom has the idea, pom-pom's like, it's like your light bulb goes off. Oh, Tiff, we hear you!
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, good.
Yay. Okay, yeah, and he turns to everyone and just goes,
I think they plan on killing the Phoenix. If the Phoenix is summoned and is killed, that will be the end of the cycle.
Can't let that happen.
No, we can't.
Why?
This guy sounds like a big problem.
I was sure thought you were going to swear.
I know, right? I was like, how much more prolific would it be if she actually swore? No. I almost said a big dookie head, but that would
I
not
was
have
gonna
fit her character.
Yeah.
Now I desperately just want a pixie that has the foulest mouth. That's a great character that I'll keep in my back pocket.
Just gonna head for later.
Well, how do we stop him?
We'll have to beat the Ash Wraith to the mountain. If it's already there, we'll have to defend the Phoenix when it arrives.
Okay. Well, I guess we should really get moving.
Would you say that we should really hoof it, Thimbleberry?
I would.
And on that punny note, they are going to begin hoofing it through this forest, forward to try to cut off this ash wraith, whose intentions are now made very clear to them. It's not about a leaf. It's about an ancient creature that brings life to this place. And their purpose is now set as we close out the second piece of this story. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute break to save our audio and be humans, and we're going to come right back for the end of our little novella story. Sit tight, everybody. I'm going to play the Good Strong Hands trailer. If you're new with us, definitely stick around to check that out. Good Strong Hands, the game we're playing, hits Kickstarter tomorrow. Make sure you take a look at that and support our friend, Nerdburger Craig. See you all in about 5 minutes.
The world of reverie is in need of heroes. A faceless, malevolent entity known only as the Void threatens to destroy your world. Will you heed the call? Good Strong Hands is a darkly whimsical, rules-light role-playing game about saving your fantastical world. You play one of a variety of fantasy beings or a human ally drawn from Earth, working to stop the destruction of your beloved home. Characters are summarized in 2-page playbooks, and the GM can draw upon streamlined 2-page story schemes to guide you in adventure. With these tools, the players and GM work together to build your personal world of reverie as you tell stories of friendship, teamwork, self-empowerment, overcoming harmful forces, and dealing with a world in crisis. However, as your character proves themselves a hero, the Void notices and tempts you with fell powers called corruptions. Will you stay true, or will you walk a line just this side of destruction yourself? Reverie needs your good, strong hands.